inside your go bag. Prescription medications, yung mga extras, you can put it there. Wait lang ha. Ayan. Buti naman na tumahimik na. And then, additional, mas okay if you use your prescription glasses. Kasi pagka naka-contact lens, kailangan mo pa ng additional na lens solution. So, mas okay na you use your prescription glasses. If you have babies at home, syempre kailangan ninyong magbaon ng infant formula at saka yung mga bottles, diapers, ayan. Additional then, you can bring pet food at saka extra water for your pet kasi di ba sabi nga nila, when you evacuate with them. Di ba? Huwag nyo silang iiwanan sa bahay. Or, if iiwanan nyo sila sa bahay, huwag naman yung nakatali. Leave them or give them the opportunity to save themselves if you are not going to bring them with you. You can also include cash or traveler's check. Yung cash, pakilagay sa isang ziplock para hindi mababasa. Okay? Just in case may emergency na kailangang pagkagastusan. For example, if you will be evacuating or you're going to move from one place to another, and you might need cash to make your transaction. Important family documents such as yung mga birth certificates, yung mga bank account records, those things. Hindi na siya advisable na dalhin nyo pa when you evacuate. As long as they are in a waterproof container or yung mga ziplock na bags, you can leave them at home as long as hindi siya basta-basta papasukin ng tubig in case na bahain or magkaroon ng what do you call this, yung mga tsunamis like that or storm surge, yan. Even if they are at home, at least hindi siya basta-basta mababasa. And then, sleeping bag or warm blanket for each person. Again, hindi na rin siya basic. So, if wala ng space, okay lang kahit hindi na ninyo ilagay. Usually naman, when you go to evacuation centers, they will be providing some of these basic things sa inyo. Okay? Change of clothing. Syempre, you have to anticipate na medyo malamig dahil may typhoon, malamig even yung water, malamig yung panahon. So, bring blankets to keep you warm or bring clothes na hindi naman, alam mo yun, na hindi ka giginawin kung saan ka man mapunta. Matches, of course, may mga waterproof matches tayo. Although yung common na available sa mga tindahan, hindi siya waterproof. Pero merong available commercially na waterproof matches in case na magkaroon talaga ng medyo devastating na disaster. At least you are prepared whether mabasa siya or hindi, it will still work. Okay? And other feminine supplies or personal hygiene such as yung toothbrush, toothpaste, shampoo, like that, that you will be needing in case you need to evacuate. So again, these are extras, so they are not really, or additional emergency supplies. They're not really basic, so hindi siya kailangan nandun sa go bag mo. Pero if you have space or you have it available, then yes, it's better na nandoon siya sa go bag mo. Now, let's talk about what are the things that you should be doing before, during, and after a typhoon. So, ang pinakamabigat is always before and always after. Kasi yung before is more of preparation and you have a lot of things that you can prepare for before the actual typhoon makes its landfall. Pag during kasi, wala ka lang magagawa. The typhoon is already there. You just have to sit down and wait for it to pass. So wala kang masyadong gagawin during. Ang pinaka-next na marami ka nang gagawin is after, depending on the severity of the destruction. So kung malaki yung destruction, syempre marami kayong repair na gagawin after. Pero kung wala naman masyadong destruction, then konti lang din yung gagawin mo after. So let's start with before. Number one, before, of course, you have to keep yourself updated. Kaya nga pag may paparating na bagyo, especially for typhoons, na alam ng mga experts na magiging malakas and can potentially be disastrous, they always give a lot of information about it. So every hour yan, they are going to update you sa mga news sa TV. If you have internet connection and you can see it on Facebook, on social media accounts, halos lahat. Even yung cellphone ninyo, alam ko nagte-text yung emergency na, ano yun? Basta yung laging nagte-text na nandyan na yung bagyo, maghanda, kahit madaling araw, nagme-message to help you prepare, di ba? Kasi you have to be updated. So kayo ang mamimili on what media platform you will be using to keep yourself updated. Just make sure na yung pino-follow ninyo na media platform is reliable and is giving you real-time and reliable information. So hindi pwedeng ang inantabayanan mo lang na information ay kung may pasok or wala. Tapos nung sinabing wala ng pasok, wala ka nang pakialam dun sa bagyo. So kailangan updated ka pa rin. What time siya maglalandfall, at what time do you expect the worst rains to happen. So kailangan updated ka dun para alam mo din kung kailan ka magsa-start ng preparation mo. Okay? Ito, hindi ko na masyadong nakikita pero dati ginagawa kasi ito. Kapag may sinabi nilang paparating na bagyo, usually lahat ng bahay inaayos. So yung iba, dinadagdagan ng pabigat yung mga bubong, yung iba, tinitignan kung may butas yung bubong, baka kailangang i-seal, nililinis yung mga drainage system, kasi pagka hindi mo nilinis yung drainage system, chances are pwedeng bahain yung doon sa area ninyo. So ito is something that you can do before. So inspect and clean your house, especially yung drainage system. Check if there are things that should be fixed and repaired, such as yung mga butas sa bubong, yung mga sirang bintana, sirang pinto, yung mga pwedeng pasukan ng tubig, and have them fixed as soon as possible. Okay? Check if merong mga clogging sa drainage system, and then kailangan nating i-unclog. Tanggalin natin yung nakabara para yung water will flow very smoothly or hindi siya ma-impede doon sa area ninyo. Naririnig pa ba? Kahit may nagdi-drill? Ayan, thank you. Okay? And then of course, ito yung isa kong nakikita. Pag may paparating na bagyo, halos lahat ng parents or maraming tao nasa grocery store kasi they are trying to store ready to eat na mga food. So usually yan, kung kailangan nating magstay sa loob ng bahay, at least hindi mo na kailangan lumabas, meron ng pagkain sa bahay. So make sure that there is adequate food and water at home. Okay? In case na, for example, mawala ng kuryente, hindi kayo makabili ng tubig doon sa binibilihan ninyo ng tubig, at least meron kayong nakastock sa bahay. Okay? Ito ay nakikita ko sa mga bahay na laging binabaha. Kapag may paparating na bagyo, usually nag-i-evacuate na sila ng mga appliances nila sa second floor or doon sa third floor ng bahay nila. Any part that is actually elevated. So itinataas na nila yung mga importanteng appliances at saka mga gamit sa bahay para in case na magkaroon ng baha, at least hindi masisira yung mga gamit nila. Okay? And ito ay isa sa mga kailangan sundin pero medyo matigas ang ulo ng iba. Kapag sinabihang mag-evacuate, you need to evacuate. So ano nga ba yung areas na usual sinasabihan ng evacuation? So number 1, yung mga coastal areas or yung mga bahay na malalapit sa dagat, yung mga bahay sa paanan ng bundok, at saka yung mga bahay na mababa at laging binabaha. So bakit nga ba kailangan silang mag-evacuate? Kasi pag malakas yung bagyo, there is a chance na magkaroon ng storm surge at ang maaapektuhan ay yung mga bahay na malalapit doon sa dagat or yung mga coastal areas. Another thing, bakit kailangan mag-evacuate yung mga nasa paanan ng bundok? Kasi pag malakas din yung ulan, there is a possibility of landslide. At pag nagkaroon ng landslide, ang matatabunan yung mga bahay sa paanan ng bundok. At saka syempre, yung mga bahay na mabababa, yung area at madaling bahain. Kasi onting ulan, talagang mataas yung baha sa kanila. Okay? So pag nagsabi na yung inyong local municipal disaster risk reduction office na kailangan na mag-evacuate, you have to evacuate. At ano yung dadalhin mo when you evacuate? Actually, dumarating na nga doon sa point ng forced evacuation. Kasi nga may mga matitigas talaga ang ulo, ang dahilan nila, ayaw nilang iwanan yung bahay, ayaw nilang iwanan yung mga pananim nila, ayaw nilang iwanan yung mga, anong tawag dito, yung mga baka, gano'n. Yung mga baboy, ayaw nilang iwanan yon kasi yun yung source of livelihood nila. Pero minsan kasi, you really need to follow, most of the time, you really need to follow kasi hindi ka naman nila sasabihan to evacuate kung wala naman silang nakikitang need. Meron pa nga, ano yun, pag may bagyo, sinabihan ng Coast Guard na bawal ng maglaot yung mga bangka. Sasabihin nila, pag hindi kami pumunta sa laot, walang kakainin yung family namin. So magpupunta pa rin sila dun sa dagat, yung mga fishermen, tapos kailangan na silang i-rescue after a few hours kasi hindi na sila nakabalik kasi malakas na yung alon. So yes, may mga matitigas talagang ulo, meron talagang mga kailangan pang i-force evacuation. I think yung last time ang nangyari is yung dito sa likod ng school sa may Sitio Bukid. Ang nangyari is nag-evacuate naman sila. Kaso nung bumaba na yung baha, bumalik na agad sila dun sa mga bahay nila kahit na wala pang binibigay na signal for them to actually go back to their houses. Eh, after a few hours, lumakas ulit yung ulan. So, tumaas ulit yung tubig, mas mataas pa dun sa dati, lampas tao na daw, parang ganon. So, mas nahirapan yung NDRRMO na mag-rescue sa kanila kasi mas mataas na yung tubig tapos hindi naman nila alam na may mga tao doon. Ang alam nila na evacuate na, yung pala, bumalik na kaagad dun sa mga bahay. So, additional work para sa kanila, baka may mamatay pa or mas dangerous pa in that case. So, we have to be updated. At the same time, we have to follow kung ano yung ibinibigay na instruction sa atin. If we need to evacuate, kung kailangan pang mag-stay sa evacuation, bawal pang bumalik, we really need to follow their advice. Okay? And always have your emergency kit with you. Dapat yung emergency go bag ninyo laging naka-ready. Regardless kung may paparating na bagyo or wala, dapat lagi siyang naka-ready. And it should be located in areas na madaling makuha at alam ng bawat member of the family kung saan siya kukunin para kahit sino pwedeng kumuha. Yung madali siyang makuha at saka anong tawag dito, alam ng lahat kung saan kukunin. Okay? And then now let's go to during. So during a typhoon, ayan, you stay inside the house. Wala nga pasok kasi nga dangerous to go outside. Tapos naggala ka. Eh di sana pumasok ka na lang ng school, di ba? So during this time, we stay inside to keep ourselves safe at saka syempre para bawasan na yung mga kailangan pang intindihin na nasa labas. Kasi pagka may mga bagyo, hindi lahat pwedeng nasa loob. Yung iba, it is their job to stay outside. Diba sabi ko nga sa inyo, pag signal number 1, ang wala lang pasok ay yung preschool. Pag signal number 2 until high school, walang pasok. So nasa labas pa rin yung college students, nasa labas pa rin yung mga workers. Pag signal number 3, wala nang pasok ang college. Pag signal number 4, wala nang pasok even yung mga nagtatrabaho except for essential workers such as those working in the hospitals, those working in the emergency response groups, hindi sila pwedeng mag-work suspension din kasi sila yung mga essential workers during that time. So pag sinabing suspended, stay inside the house. Huwag nang pagala-gala pa. Okay? And then, you have to keep monitoring. So, syempre, kahit na nasa loob ka lang ng bahay, tignan mo pa rin, baka naman sobrang taas na, hindi ka pa nag-evacuate or hindi ka na updated na meron na palang signal na kailangan ng evacuate. So you need to keep yourself updated. Usually, pagka typhoon, dalawa ang binibigay na warning signal ng mga authorities. Yung public storm warning signal at saka yung signal for potential flooding. So meron kayong makikitang orange level, may red level, may yellow level. Ang focus ng levels na yon is more of the water. Okay, so kung mataas na siya or kung kailangan ng lumikas or hindi pa naman ganun kataas yung baha, so okay lang if you stay inside the house. Okay? Even if you are inside the house, I know ginagamit niyo yung phone niyo, pero make sure na meron kayo, naka-charge siya at huwag ninyong dinidrain yung battery niya in case na mawalan ng kuryente. Magkaroon ng power outage, at least you can still keep yourself updated kasi you still have your mobile phone. So ito na yung start. Keep your electric-powered items stored in higher areas. Okay? Kung kaya nang iakyat, ilikas, itaas na. Okay? Do not, wag ninyong pangahasan to wade along flooded areas. When you look at floods, mukha lang siyang mababaw at mukha lang siyang kaya ninyong tawirin. But when you're actually there, you forget na the water is actually cold, which actually makes movements difficult. At the same time, na undermine ninyo yung lakas ng water current. Yung current niya minsan malakas, kahit mababaw siya, tatangayin ka. At the same time, yes, there are waterborne diseases doon. Hindi kasi talaga malinis ang flood water. So, pwede kang magkaroon ng, okay lang kung mga athlete foot lang ang makukuha mo. But what if, anong tawag dito, yung sa daga, yung elephantiasis ang makuha mo. So, always avoid or stay away from flooded areas. Huwag ninyong masyadong matapang yung loob na hindi naman kailangan naglalaro-laro pa doon. And protect yourself, wear proper protective equipment such as raincoats and then of course boots. Mas okay yung boots, at least hindi tatangayin ng baha yung tsinelas niyo. And then of course, if you are told to evacuate, you have to evacuate. And now let's go to after. So pag nag-exit na yung typhoon at hindi na maulan, wala nang hangin, ito na yung kailangan nating i-update. So number 1, kailangan pa rin nating i-monitor. Okay? Baka mayroon uling paparating or baka mayroon uling high tide. So kahit wala na yung bagyo pero nandyan pa yung flood, tapos nag-high tide, so tumaas ulit. So double check pa rin natin. We should be updated pa din doon sa progress ng typhoon. If your house is heavily damaged, hindi siya pwedeng basta-bastang pasukin for your safety. So sabi niya dito, ask the advice of authorities regarding its safety and stability. Kung okay nang bumalik, kung pwede nang pumasok, kung okay nang maglinis. Okay? So do not enter ng basta-basta lang. I-inspect nyo muna kung safe na ba siyang pasukin or hindi, kung ano yung mga kailangang i-repair at kung ano yung mga kailangang alisin. For example, may mga debris or may mga natanggal. Ayan. Watch for live wires. Ito yung isa sa pinaka-importante. Baka merong electrical outlet na nabasa. Bigla kang nagsaksak. So, hindi ka nga na-damage or hindi ka nasaktan during the actual typhoon. Doon ka naman sa after ng typhoon nagkaroon ng injury. Lalo na pag bagyo, may mga nasisirang poste, tumutumbang poste. Di natin alam. Hintayin muna natin yung authorities to fix or repair yung mga subdued na power, ang tawag dito, yung mga poste ng kuryente. And then, i-check muna natin kung may nabasa or may hindi pwedeng isaksak before natin gamitin yung mga electrical appliances. Wear protective gears pa din. Kasi even if nakaalis na yung typhoon, you do not know, baka andyan pa yung baha, hindi pa nagsasubside yung flood. So there are still waterborne diseases such as yung sinabi ko kanina, leptospirosis yung galing sa daga which eventually leads to elephantiasis. and there are still some bacteria na maaaring nakapasok doon sa water, ininom mo yung water, so nagkaroon ka ng diarrhea or amoebiasis, or nagkaroon ka ng sugat, tapos dahil dumaan ka sa baha, na-infect, na maga, okay? So, pag hindi siya nalinis or hindi siya naayos, maaaring mas lumala yung infection. And then, double check your water, especially kung nagkaroon ng sira sa mga water provider, kung safe na yung water for consumption or hindi. Kung hindi ka sure, boil them or use yung purifying tablet just to double, ano yan, yung parang at least doble ka na nilinis mo talaga na pag ininom mo, hindi ka magkakasakit. And then of course, clean up. Kailangan ninyo mag-clean up, hindi pwedeng nakatenga lang yung baha doon. So kailangan maalis siya, ilinisin ulit yung drainage, lalo na pagka may tubig na naka-stagnate, then it can be a breeding ground for mosquitoes. And then double check kung may kailangang itapon, kailangan i-repair, at kailangang ayusin. Okay? So now, we are knowledgeable on what we need to do before, during, and after a typhoon. So let's go back to our essential question. Okay? Can I request everyone, I will be giving you 3 minutes to answer this essential question. And once you are ready with your answer, please type them in the chat box. Okay, again, I'm going to give you 3 minutes to answer these essential questions. Type your answer on the chat box once you are done. And your 3 minutes starts now.